really, you are all brilliant. Like Margaret asked the question earlier, how should I crop this? And, should I do it on the 6x6 really? Because, and just change the cropping. And that was the right answer that we all agreed with. Not that there's one right answer, there never is, but when drawing this, I want to make sure that, that I leave room for, in fact, markup. This will help if you're looking at this screen to divide it into quadrants. Oops, I probably made that too long.
Okay, I'm back, you all.
You sound almost worse for wear. How'd it go?
Okay, they're gonna continue. They can't leave me the way it is. Wait till you see.
Izzy, I already forgot. What are you working on now? My little sieve of a brain has forgotten.
Hey, I'm working on this picture.
Oh, good. Okay.
I love this. I thought this was wonderful.
All right. And just so Kay, because I feel like Kay maybe didn't hear this discussion last time. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. I just realized the little black thing, I think is just a film canister.
Oh, I didn't even see the little, I haven't printed this out. I probably should do that. How do I do that?
It depends because some of the printouts are kind of lousy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for color, they're nice for composition, but they lack color.
Yeah, they lack the color. Okay, I'm not going to do it.
Print out, I would go into your email and click on the image. I resent it last night, so I'd go into your email, click on the image, and I think from there you might be able to click print.
I should be able to do it. Okay, but I'm not going to do it now. I'm drawing this on my thing.
That sounds great, and especially yeah. Okay, so I think I'm good. And then so Diana Armfield is so not Wayne Thiebaud. One way you'll see it is this, she's got this angle that, as you can imagine, terrifies me. Look at that, it's not parallel to the edges of the painting, and her little vase is hanging off just a tiny bit, but it's hanging off. So terrifying. But also Dutch, right? Or traditional, that barely there. And maybe it just was barely fitting on the ledge. The ledge makes me think of Julian Marrow Smith, and that he always seems to use the same ledge. Okay, so I wanted to make sure to have some space down here, and there's flowers over here. And
Nancy calls me because they're neighbors.
I'll mute Kay for her own privacy. But then if she's talking to us, please remind me so you can say, Margaret, turn Kay back on. Okay. Oh boy, I do think this will be like, so Izzy, I know you said you're going to do, there's my other charcoal acrylic paint for this, but I think it would be an easier painting in oil.
I think it'd be a wonderful painting in oil. But I thought it would be good practice to do it in acrylic, and I can paint over.
Yes, you can. All right, and I don't want to paint with that brush. Sorry, I just pulled out more of a bristle style brush. I think that it's actually synthetic bristle, but it's stiff. And this is a panel, not a super smooth panel, but still, actually maybe because it's not a super smooth panel, stiff would be good. I'll try it.
I'm wondering,
total brain.
I saw this immediately vertically instead of this way. I'm doing it now horizontally.
You don't have to though. I mean, you could change it.
No, I could paint. Well, I only have one canvas, so I'm going to continue.
Okay, and I'm thinking, oh no, where do I begin? I think I'll begin with anywhere is good, but I think I'm going to put down a bit of color for the base, because that color seems to me like the farthest color from the rest of the palette. So the rest of it seems pretty warm except for the bits of purple. This seems so cool and gray. I'll take some white, I'll take a little blue, I'll take a little of burnt umber. Surprise, surprise.
Margaret?
Yeah.
Lisa is in your waiting room.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's let Lisa in. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I appreciate that. Oh, and now, oh, this is gonna be good. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all?
How are we all?
You're okay.
Yeah, oh, and I'm gonna, well, I'll leave Kay's muted while she's on the phone, but I'm doing really well. I am so happy to be here. But now that Lisa, that you've joined us, may I share what you showed this? Actually, maybe it'd be better if you share it because it'll look better on your screen. Do you have what you worked on the last
I
time?
do. In fact, you know, after you look at it for an overnight, there's definitely changes I'm going to make. So here
Oh,
is
oh,
my pear.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And I feel like I want it to be more red, like the original picture. So I'm going to go back and add more red and make the pink less pink.
All right. Does anybody want to override Lisa's decision for her and take away her personal autonomy and refuse to let her paint on this thing anymore?
I think it's so perfect. I can't imagine.
No, thank you.
That Julian?
Why don't you take another painting and do it red? Another canvas
Oh.
and keep this one.
Hey, I'm trying to unmute you, but I can't.
Am I unmuted?
Now you are, yes.
I think you're in danger of destroying your painting by diddling on it.
Leave it.
It's really nice.
Thank you.
Is that Julian Merrill Smith? Did you look at his picture or is that just yours?
Oh dear Lord, it's a copy.
Is it Julian Merrill Smith copy?
Is that the one it's the one you gave us, Margaret?
I think it must be, yeah.
I don't know who was the
I
painter.
think
I'm
that's
sorry.
my guess. I think it's Julian Marrow Smith, yeah.
This one. Only
I'm coming to you, the one behind you, Deb, except actually he did a few with a dark background. So I think it's a different painting.
And all-
But that painter, that's the painter.
It's the one we got in our email from Margaret.
Yeah. This was a couple of years ago, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Margaret, please send me that
I was
pear.
just wondering, I didn't even remember sending you the pear.
You sent us the pear.
Okay, I believe
I
you.
think you sent it with the other drawing that of the flowers, the vase.
Okay,
I think.
I must have, I'll go back to the sent still life mails and resend it.
Okay.
Now, can we see your eggplant, please? And if you need to, maybe you should take that painting and put it far, far away from
Yeah,
your
I
paint
did.
on.
I have to run and get my eggplant. It's in the other room.
Okay. And let's see.
I remember you sent that pair because I looked at it and said, no, Deborah, you can't do it again.
But it's a different pear, Deborah, but no. And I wonder, let's see.
Did you think she did that? She did this painting, this landscape right here. I'm looking.
It's a photo behind her.
Oh, it is?
I believe it's a photo of the sunset from behind her old house.
I think she said that last week too.
Yes, that's Harley Bartlett behind me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Is it a painting or a photo?
That's a painting. We actually had it, my mother-in-law had it commissioned and it was stuck on our mantle. He glued it on.
Oh,
So when we moved, he had to take it off. We lost part of it. It was even bigger. So,
wow.
Eggplant, please.
eggplant.
Oh, see, those are the leaves I want.
So beautiful.
Yeah. That's
Beautiful,
beautiful.
Thank you. The top almost doesn't go with the bottom, but it kind of makes it interesting.
I think they're two really different textures, just like in life. That the leaf texture is so radically different than the super shiny
Yeah.
silk is all not even like a normal leaf. It's anyway, so it seems appropriate to me with
Okay.
eggplants.
Eggplant.
And Lisa, what will you be painting today? Did you want to paint? I'm going to switch, or actually, bear with me for a minute. I'll switch back to this, share. Did you want to work on this one, or were you going to work on one of the other ones, or
I would
something
love
else
to work on
altogether?
that
Or
one.
were you done because you did the Julian Marrow Smith and
No,
you're
I'd
going to go
love
have
to
a
work
coffee?
on that one.
Sorry. Okay. So, oh, I'll make sure I've got this going here. Julia, I'm really curious. Have you done your value study?
No, I haven't done anything. I've been watching to see what you're doing.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna, I forgot. I said that I would, because it's acrylic, maybe I could even go with a larger brush. This is so strange, feels so strange. Okay, I'm gonna take the white and some blue, and it's got a tiny bit of burnt umber, and put that on there. I'm not going to worry about the decoration yet. I am thinking of the overall gist. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go a little bit more blue, a little bit more brown.
And that's watercolor, not acrylic. No.
Yeah. This is. Oh, can you? Oh, sorry. You're not seeing. We're seeing an old screen. I'm not an old screen, but before it. Here we go, and come back like that. So I put a little bit of this here, kind of whitish blue, and then I want a bluish gray.
Move it over a little bit to the right or not?
Yes, like that?
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect.
You're welcome. And I'll try to make it, I hate I love that this camera shares, but I am sorry it's so small. I'm sure that could be fixed somehow.
So you're putting the lights in first.
I think so. The main thing that drove me to make this decision first is the fact that it seems so much cooler. I was going to do this or the green because I've got this warm ground color. And yeah. Okay, I will say this, as I might have mentioned in my email last night. When I look at this painting, what I see is like where she started is this sort of yellow color. I think she might have had if I had to guess, an oil ground, which tends to look a little yellower, and then maybe used an umber color to do a rub out. And that's what I feel like is this. So, but I thought that would be a tough color to match, so I just rubbed on the burnt sienna. And a little bit more. I'm going to be kind of a brute. Like this is probably too dark over there, but okay.
You can always paint over.
Exactly, especially with this acrylic paint, it'll dry in half a minute. A little bit like there, and okay, so that's too light. This dark edge I think is important, but it's kind of blue, very. And then I'll use this same bit of stuff for the little top of the film canister. I'm not going to worry too much about the light dark, like building the form.
Put that in. Yeah.
Maybe I'll build the form a little bit. Try right side of that. And maybe I'll go right for that really dark film canister. With my burnt umber, ultramarine blue. It's such a nice little shape. And then I'll just. Okay, and I'm being a little bit lazy. You can see how mine isn't particularly dark because I'm just being a little bit, but I feel like it'll be dark enough for now. And maybe I want to go in with the other darks, just since I'm here with the brown and the blue all around it. Although it's so much beautiful subtlety in there, and you oil painters are going to have a ball with that. Not to
Maybe.
the acrylics. Oh, I'm sure you will. But so I'm sort of in part doing a value study because I'm simplifying radically. Look, it's the same, and maybe that's okay. I'll just let this film canister disappear into the darkness. And she groups the, let's see, I'm forgetting the name for it, open form. So where the shadow cast from the vase, it sort of blends the tabletop with the background, with this, it all groups together. And we don't sort of distinguish the things clearly. Put a little shadow under there. So yeah, I think I'm finding myself doing a little bit of a value study here, because I'm not thinking too much about the colors, but it's letting me see as I go, to see all those wonderful greeny bits and variations and reds. And that's one reason I love to do studies, because it's only, I love this painting, but when I do the studies, I can really enjoy it even more. I just love these bits of purple and turquoise and sienna. And so doing a study allows me to kind of enjoy it more. Okay, back to doing something here. And guess I'm drawing around the nasturtiums, which every fall, I'm so grateful to the nasturtiums because they seem to be carrying on, and they came on really late. Michael puts them in our, anyway, every fall I think, why didn't I plant more nasturtiums so they can bring me joy at this time of year? Okay, no dark over here. Maybe I'll put in this bit of dark up there. I think the next thing that really caught my eye, there are some of the greens. So I'll just, I don't want to think too hard about it. I'm going to go in with, I've got my phthalo green and some yellow ochre. But I think what I really like is the phthalo green and a little bit of the burnt sienna. Let's see what that looks like. Gosh, I'm going to make our faces tiny, tiny. Scooch this over. Now, Ruth, I just saw your head and I thought, but wait, Ruth is looking at something off screen. Why can we see your head?
So I'm still here, and I'm watching, but as you're showing, your painting is so small.
I know, it's...
If you got rid of there you go.
I could do this and do this.
It's mesmerizing to watch you paint.
Wow, thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, I guess, shall we sacrifice the palette, the mixing, in order to see the painting? Maybe we'll go back and forth, because I would think I wanted to kind of show you the mixing, but in order to do that, the painting gets so tiny.
I think the mixing is really helpful to me to know how to get your colors.
Okay. There's an argument for the, sorry, and then I'm trying to, where is it? Oh, this is it. All right, so maybe I could go back and forth. So I'll zoom in on the painting for the moment. That's how the painting is.
You don't have to listen to me because I'm not even painting it. I'm just.
But I like all the voice. I think that's helpful. Does anybody else?
I love watching you paint too, so it is mesmerizing. I agree, Ruth.
Do you all want both, like sometimes to see the mixing and then sometimes to see close-ups of the painting?
I'd rather see your painting than the painting. The painting is taking 3/4 of my screen right now.
Yeah, so sadly, I can't make this any bigger.
I see.
I
no, that's
talked for a
great.
long time to the people at Apple, but I should try again because you never know. And great. Maybe I could scooch it over here. And then the painting on my screen is so I realized I've just moved around and sort of changed nothing. But yeah, it's sad that I can't make it bigger. I would love to make it bigger. I can't turn it either. It just turns up like that.
No,
no, okay, sorry. It does whet my appetite. So
I think that's good.
Okay, and I'll go back and forth though with showing maybe showing a little bit more close up. So I'm trying to be somewhat indiscriminate about the shapes or just grouping them. I really like that I made my quadrants, and I don't know if you can see, but I actually drew quadrants right roughly on my board here. And that was a way of, without tracing, I still have a good sense. It'll help me keep things in line.
I'm gonna do that too.
I just noticed though that in the quadrants here on the screen, there is more. There's lots of red happening here, and I've got my green going. I've kind of taken away some opportunities for red, and so I want to make sure to bring the red out.
Look at that. So now I have my thing wrong. Okay.
But
Margaret,
wrong
I
is
missed the
relative.
first part. Did you, so you didn't trace that?
I didn't. I
The
drew
quadrants.
just a bit of chalk. I drew the quadrants, and then I sort of made these rough shapes.
Wonderful.
Margaret, what is that little dark thing? What color is that? That
It
little
is
jar.
burnt umber and ultramarine blue. But you're welcome to use. I mean, it really looks black, and feel free to use the black. Although I know you like the limited palette, so maybe you'll just go with the umber and blue. But it has a distinctly more black look to me. I noticed that the leaves right here are a little cooler green. Maybe this is probably going overboard, but I mixed my phthalo and my lemon yellow. So I'm exaggerating here, but they're cooler than some of, I think. And then they're lighter over here. So maybe just since I have the greens. And this is why I keep the yellows over here too, so I can, this is like too much, but it will help me remember. Oh, so Izzy, I think when you said, I heard you say, you know, that you've gotten the proportions wrong, but
Yeah.
I think it's one of the, we're doing this for pleasure, right? And so you could get a lot, like if you're interested in the color, you know, you're not going to do it wrong.
I know, but you know, it's kind of fun to try to do like you do. And then I learned something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I hear
It's
you.
good to learn something.
Right. I think we like puzzles. Like we're made to solve puzzles.
Mm-hmm. So now that is all wrong.
She said.
If there's a right or wrong, that's wrong. Yeah. I do like the feeling that we're the artist, not, you know, you can, I like the idea of just taking something and it's the way you like it, not necessarily the way it's right.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm saying it right. I mean, your way or my way or whatever, whoever's the artist.
And interpreting
But their decisions, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's their decision.
When it makes me, I think, you know, I try to not inundate you with emails and just sort of organize things, but I think I have a draft email with, that some of you have seen some of this, but information about copies and links to famous artists' copies that show you a famous artist copying other artists, but especially Van Gogh, you can really see his distinct Van Gogh style, but copying old masters.
Yeah, he's very distinct.
I thought I'd get this bit of yellow in there because it's not sienna. And then maybe I'll go in for the purpley bits of flowers.
Margaret, what yellow is that?
Good question. In my acrylic box, it is yellow medium azo, and yellow oxide. In my oil box, it would be the lemon yellow. Oh, I didn't put out any violets. let's see what I could do with the Cad Red Medium and the Ultramarine Blue. Not so, well, it looks peach. Who knew? Oh. Cad Red Medium and Ultramarine Blue gave me this peachy color that's barely discernible. It seems like, gosh, I don't even have a purple. Seems like something we could just use a premixed purple for. I do have a Naphthol Crimson in my acrylic box, and that's a cooler, more rosy red. And so out my brush of the yellow will help. Trying the Naphthol Rose, oops, a bit wet. I wonder if mixing it with the phthalo would make more of a purple, not sure. I could look up her palette. Let's see, so let's see how this looks on it. There's so many values up there. So this is purple. Oh, I love how it shows up in and around some of those reds. Somebody over here. And then could I get it bluer and whiter for those light bits that are, let's see how that looks. Bluer, whiter, where are you even? Over here? That's very blue. And dark, because then the acrylic, it'll be tough. Let's see. So it just kind of looks blue, but oh well. Now I'm gonna try now for the darkest bits in there that look purpley. So I'll use my ultramarine blue and this Naphthol Crimson, and oops, I'm a little heavy on the crimson, and see where are I don't really know where I am. I mean, in draw, because I didn't draw carefully. Looks like that dark bit might be somewhere in there. I'll move my cursor because it's right in the middle. Wonder what those are.
I see lots of blue in this.
In the flowers or all over the painting?
All over the painting. I see lots of blue. I don't know why.
Tell us about the kinds of blue you see.
I see light blue in the background.
Like
Where
gray.
I think maybe the original canvas was light blue.
I would disagree with you only because to me it really looks like those are strokes on top.
On top?
It seemed
Like,
that yeah, they seem like they're even on top of the sienna color and on top of these other colors. So I'm inclined to say they're not. I really feel like the original color of the canvas is
look at that.
this in here, this kind of yellow, because this blue looks like it's on top of almost everything else, as opposed to.
You can see it better than me.
I can, this is great. And hopefully on your screen, like, there are those blues you see, you know.
Oh, there's the blues I see.
And down here too, a little more turquoisey.
Oh.
And a greeny, I guess not blue, but sorry if I'm giving you
Wow,
a headache.
that's really good.
This right here, this looks like it's on top.
You think it does? Okay.
All of these other bits of paint.
Blue in the vase too, or purple. Who is this painter?
Diana Armfield. And in watercolor and in pocket sketchbook, in a couple of weeks, we're gonna look at her a little bit more because she also is a watercolorist and she does a lot of figure sketching. So we'll spend a few minutes in a couple of weeks looking at her figure sketches. Yeah. Let's see. What next? Oops. Okay. What next indeed? Sorry, even though, go away, little record button. Um, maybe I'll go for the reds. Although this is so light, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go for some of that because it's distracting me with its lightness on my canvas, especially because well, anyway. So I'm gonna try some of, I've got the burnt sienna and a little bit of white. And maybe even, I do have some raw sienna in my acrylic box. Let's see what that looks like. And that, at least that brings the value down a bit, which is helpful because that's distracting me.
I'm scared.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh at your fear. I was
No,
laughing
dog
at
is scared.
the
She's lying
common thread.
No.
Tell us what your fears are.
scared. She's scared of the new people putting in on the
Oh,
pool.
it's the dog. It's not, I thought you were saying that you were
Oh,
scared.
I'm not scared. No.
The plaintive
Well,
say,
see it. I should be scared.
no, no. This is just paint.
Mm.
Her strokes, oh, I guess it looks very light in this camera that I'm showing you. I was thinking that in the painting on my screen, it's luminous, pretty luminous because of the photography. Okay. I kind of want to be just a brute and just cover up. Let's get some stuff
And
done.
what is that color, Margaret? I might have missed it.
No, great question, Lisa. I started going into the raw sienna, which is not something, oh, I know, it came in I bought a set and I hadn't used it in my oil palette in forever, for 20 years, but it was in my set of acrylics. So it is a nice color to have, but you could get it, I think, an approximation of it if you didn't have the raw sienna by using the yellow ochre and some burnt umber, or yellow ochre and a little burnt sienna, a combination of yellow ochre, burnt umber, and sienna. Does anybody else?
Luckily, I have it.
Oh, good. I do think I put it on the acrylic palette.
Yes.
Is anybody else painting? And if you were painting this, would you like to talk about colors you're using? Kind of, yeah.
I'm failing with my colors, but anyway, well, it'll be what it is.
Are any colors working, Kay?
No. Well, I'm painting on a totally black background that I am modifying as I go. So we'll see.
I
So
think
yeah, go ahead. I just talked on top of someone. Who was that? Or go ahead and talk.
No,
I was saying I thought it'd be interesting what she was going to do. Be different.
well, I'm trying to. I can't see very well, so whatever comes out is what will come out, because it's hard to see 12 feet away from my screen.
That could be good though. So this is really more like you painting from life in a way, because you're making choices about how you want the painting to look, and you've got this. You can't see too closely. That could be a good approach.
That's for sure. I cannot see very closely.
And I do think that having
to try some reds.
okay, yes, and reds are always the tough thing. The tough thing. although that I avoid till the last minute. I think, oh gosh, the acrylic paint it dries so fast. I thought, oh, God. All right, I'm dry. I went over into my mixture of grays because I thought I wanted to try to blend between this dark, cool gray and the sienna color that I just got. All right, let's do the reds. Although when I look, I want to do the bottom of the painting with its bluey grays, let's see what happens if I just, I know this is a bit too dark, but at least it, when I squint up there, the bottom of the painting is dark. So I'm gonna paint it dark and then come back in with the subtle shifts. It's hard to get to. A little too blue here because there's this wonderful green in it. Maybe I'll add green. A little yellow. See what happens. That's probably too much, but anyway. And then okay. About right. I think oh, and then I look at my palette with dismay. So oil painters will have their alizarin crimson, and I think that'll help for the darkest reds. But I'm gonna put out a little bit more of the Naphthol crimson on the acrylic palette and mix that with the ultramarine blue. I'm doing it way over here because I wanted a new patch. I guess I have it there too. Bless you.
Thank you.
I thought I'd go in with the dark. So this is, if this is the middle, my dark, oh, it's way over here. Everything, yeah, I didn't really leave as much room as I'd like for this. So I might scooch my purple flowers over. A little bit of dark there, a little bit of dark right next to the midline. That's helpful. A little bit of dark over there. Not quite that dark, but I'm just gonna go with my single dark. And then over here, high. Keep it, try to keep it kind of high. And so maybe the darkest dark, and I think I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna go for the lightest light because all of this is so light. I'm gonna play around with the medium. So this is a cad red. Maybe I'll just see what the cad red light looks like right down here. Why not? Especially just to get an underpaint. Like, yeah, why I'm just gonna put cad red straight on. I'm gonna draw around.
Wow, as usual, I have painted myself completely green.
Are you beautiful colors?
I never feel successful with my greens. I have to go wash a little bit.
All right, we'll be here.
I think we learned that about green. In watercolor class, there's certain greens that work, and so you have to get a really good watercolor set.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Good green.
Margaret, are you working flat down on the table?
I am, because of this setup, I am working flat.
You think you have more control over the,
I think that's a great question, Deb. I think I must. And the sacrifice would be in looseness, like, because I'm not there, because, yeah, I think more control, I think I do. And I could even, if I wanted, I could, instead of using a maul stick, which I never do, but which is what people do for precision, yep.
what is
answer
a
is
maul
yes.
stick?
A maul stick is, I will find you a picture of a maul stick. It's, and I forget how it's spelled. It's just M-O-L-L. It's a stick that a lot of academic painters use. They put it up at the top of the painting and they can rest their arm on it. So if this were really long and I were painting on an easel, I would hold the maul stick, put it at the top of my painting, and then I could rest my hand, or even here, could rest my hand on the stick like this to apply pressure and then get precise control, which I don't need here, but
Hmm.
The short answer is yes. But the bad thing about, so then you might say, well, why don't we always do this? I think the bad thing about it is that I'm looking down, and that's, if possible, it's much better, I think, to be looking forward and not bending your neck. I do have this really high up, which is good. Oh,
And what size brush are you using?
I'm using, it's a number 6, but we know size don't really matter. It's about a ½ an inch, I'd say.
About ½ an inch?
I think.
Margaret, what
Yeah.
reds should I begin with?
I think your CAD red medium, and if you
I
have
don't
it,
think I have such a thing. I have CAD red light and I have alizarin.
perfect. CAD red light and alizarin. Do you keep any of this CAD yellow deep?
CAD yellow who?
Deep.
No, I have CAD yellow light. I have
Or,
CAD yellow, just plain old CAD yellow.
all right, I would try your CAD yellow and your, that other CAD red, I think you maybe said light, I'm not sure, and your alizarin crimson.
Okay, let's see.
And you might be mixing in a little bit of Naples yellow.
Okay, I do have Naples yellow.
Okay, that's too dark. I'm gonna go back to my CAD red light and a little bit. So I'm sort of mixing all the, I've got the crimson and CAD red light and even a
Is it
little.
Naples yellow light or Naples yellow hue?
Good question.
Since I have everyone known to man now.
Oh, right. Did you deliver one to Kay?
No, I realized I saw it and I said, oh, look, I never delivered that to Kay.
One of your assignments was to go deliver one to Kay and then see if she would give you something delicious that she cooked.
Debbie is the cook.
It'll probably be a glass of wine, so I have to do it towards, 5 o'clock.
And I'm
Wow.
always able to give you a glass of wine.
And Debbie might be the cook, but she might not want to be the cook.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm speaking for myself, but she might want to be cooked for.
I love being cooked for.
Actually, that's what I've learned in the pandemic is to cook.
Oh yeah? Were you
Yeah.
not much of a chef?
I was never a cook, and now I'm enjoying it. I made an apple pie yesterday, and I took it to a friend's, and we all ate it. They thought it was good.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it was fun.
I just made this, I hope I'm not annoying you all. I made this big because I wanted to dive in and see the wonderful colors, and I'm trying to make mine somewhat correspondingly bigger.
And your canvas is 8 by 10 or is it?
Yeah, it's 8 by 10. Mostly I was ready to do 11 by 14, but so big, and I'm not quite ready to be able to demonstrate at that size. Oh, I love those colors. That's why I'm copying, but I feel like I need more. Maybe I'll just kind of willy-nilly cover this up with red. A little deeper, darker red. Back to the alizarin. Well, funny, I said alizarin, but I meant the crimson plus the ultramarine blue, which gives me my invented alizarin, sort of. And where am I going to put this?
Margaret, do you recommend we use an 8 by 10 or an 11 by 14?
I would, I'm kind of squirrely about that, or cagey, because it depends on what you're comfortable with. So some people will be much more comfortable, or even at different points in, like I used to be more comfortable working on a much larger canvas, and it would be easier for me to wrap my head around it than on a small canvas. So if you can tell at this point, if it's more manageable to work on an 8 by 10 than an 11 by 14. And I'll ask you this, do you have any kind of hunch about it? Like, oh, yes, please, larger canvas.
I feel smaller for some reason. I love the little teeny ones.
I would stick with that
So
then.
8x10 is the first time. Well, I guess I did this one. The grapefruit was, I mean, the grapefruit, the eggplant was 8x10. That was okay, but that was very simple.
I would, I believe in sticking with what feels comfortable because I feel like we're, and I think a lot of people in the class have heard this a lot. We're stretching our comfort zone a lot already.
Okay.
And I think there's no need to add that into it right now to like change your scale preference, to force yourself into a different scale, unless you're looking to add another, it's another kind of skill and it will take up your energy.
So there's no answer like which would be easier?
No, it depends on the person because
Okay.
one person,
Understood.
do we have any really big painters in the group right now? People who just like painting larger, it feels better.
I like to paint large, but I like to do all things.
Julia likes to paint large, don't you?
I think she had to go to a meeting, but I
You
do
like
think
to
of
paint
her as
large.
having, yeah. And who likes to paint smallest?
I do.
I was thinking that.
I do.
What about you, Deb?
I like smaller.
I want to like bigger.
Me too.
Oh, so that's a good point. So if you want to change scale, you could say, I want to work at that. This scale change is a skill I want. And so for a long time, I've argued, I forget it, that Kay, I know this about you, and I think you should get a hold of some discarded doors. I think we might have one in the back room for some reason, or maybe a few old doors. And you should get some discarded house paint where people's empty, sort of done with gallons of paint. And you should paint still lifes on old doors with discarded house paint or discarded big cans of paint and giant 3-inch or maybe 5-inch brushes. Does anybody have a barn paper?
Why would you say that for her? Isn't that funny? Is that to get her bigger?
Yeah, and I think, why would I say, it's something about what you said. Why do you think I said that, Kay? What have you told me that would make me want to tell you to paint on doors?
Well, I have a door that a very good painter painted a marvelous nude on. I will go take a picture of my door that she painted. She was in a life drawing class. I think she taught years ago at the art club. Her name will come to me momentarily, but of course you know how this goes.
I do.
Carolyn Cornell. Does anyone know her? She also painted the portrait of her dog Jazz. She's a fabulous painter. I'm going to go take a picture of my door.
Okay.
So we went and she had a show down here outside in Little Compton, and she had all these little small life drawing paintings she'd done. But to lure people in, she had this big door. Well, Peter and I looked at each other and we said, we want the door. So we bought the door. I will take a picture of this door.
That will be why I suggested Kay paint on a door, I think. I didn't just think of it. I think she told me about her door painting and I said, you do that then.
It's wonderful because it outrages our granddaughters.
All right. And now it's 10:30. I want to take a break myself, but I'm wondering how I should leave you, what I should leave you with here.
I have one quick question.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any idea what the original size of this painting is?
Give me a moment. Please. Diana Armfield. I might because I have this catalog of hers. If not this one, I can tell you a lot of them are 14 by 11. Let me see if I have this one, and I'm pretty sure it's in here. I think it's why I know it exists. And I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot I had this.
I was just curious.
A lot of her paintings are 14 by 11.
Okay.
And yeah. This one, however, is 10 by 12 and a half inches.
Oh.
So that's an odd size, but she's British, and in Europe, the standard sizes are different. So like instead of an 8 by 10, you have a little something else, and they've translated it to inches for some reason, but definitely I've run into, like, I don't know the standard sizes. I'll see them and they'll look odd to me. But this one is 10 by 12 and a half. So this painting is more square, I think, than this this 8 by 10. I think that's a bit more rectangular. And so this painting has a little more breathing room up top. That's a good question. Now, would you all like to see this screen, or would you prefer to see each other so that you could talk or share things?
Keep that screen with your colors in it.
Okay. Do you want, one more question, do you still want these quadrant lines on the nasturtium painting? Like, are those distracting? Those bright yellow lines?
I like them.
Okay.
I'm finished with them,
Okay.
but I did love them.
All right, I will leave them there. And I will take a little break and come back. And I can't wait to see what everybody's working on. Okay. And I'm going to mute my.
Okay. You're worried, aren't you, sweetie? Yeah.
Is he? Trevor, if you're not painting and there's noise going on in the background, could you please mute yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I am so sorry.
Sorry, Lisa.
No, no, don't be sorry. It's the first thing I looked for. Dang it. All right, hold on. I've lost my cursor. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I am back and I am dying to see what everybody's working on. Does any,
I want you, you have to realize I am looking at this painting from about 12 feet away. So this is what you get.
can you sort of, oh, that's good actually. What do you love about it?
I haven't looked at it yet. I love the fact that it's because I'm just responding to the bunches of color, I'm not even seeing what it is.
That sounds good. I like the way, because you were on a dark background and you had to bring it out from the dark, it gives it the black outlines coming through, I think, are interesting. What do you want to do differently, or what do you want to add?
I want to put the blue spots in the background.
Okay.
And then I'll look at it more
All right.
seriously.
Can I start sort of just asking people to tell how it's going, or does anybody, I'll let you announce yourselves first. Who would like feedback? No one. Loretta, yay. Okay, I'm going to try to unmute you, but you might need to unmute yourself. Oh, look at that. Wonderful.
I can't see Loretta.
You hold it up?
Okay, I was unmuting.
That's great.
Yeah.
It has a nice feel to it.
Oh, good. I don't feel like I'm very far along, but
Oh, I feel like I can see the whole thing because you've worked with the lightest light and the darkest dark. And it seems like you've hit all the different colors, like the red and the green and the cool gray. It feels kind of tied together.
I'm trying to get all the colors in up in here first.
Seems like a good plan. Do you have questions about how to go forward, or it looks like you just know you keep going?
I'm pretty good right at the moment.
Great.
I was kind of awkward with the cross lines. I like them, but then I found myself not using them. So I have to kind of ignore them right now.
Yeah, and you can, could you show me one more time your painting?
Yep.
So you can, as I just wanted to see where, you can go ahead and keep painting them out, and they can just be useful for as far as they're useful and then discarded.
Yeah.
Well,
But that was helpful. I liked having this size painting.
okay. Feel
Okay.
free to paint them out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm curious to know, let's see, can I start calling on people now? Deb, how are you managing? You don't have to show us anything, but.
Well, did sort of a tracing, but now I'm trying to fill it in. Kind of feel like it's a little paint by number, but
That's how I've been feeling. I think it can be paint by number, but it looks like it's working really well to me. Like, I like your white cup against the dark background.
Margaret,
Yeah. Yes.
Lisa got locked out again and she's in the waiting room.
Ooh, thank you. Great, thanks. So Deb, are you just going to keep going? Do you have any questions, or?
I don't have questions yet. I'm still working on trying to get colors and stuff. I like putting in all these colors though.
Ruth, can I ask how it's going?
It's sort of going.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Where'd that come from? Ruth, what are you painting?
I will show you. Julian Merrow Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Can't you tell it looks exactly like mine?
Yes.
It actually does.
I wanted to see you doing this painting, Ruth.
So not my style is the only thing I can say.
I know it isn't. That's why I wanted to see you, how you handled it.
Badly would be the answer.
Yeah.
Or it would just come out more, more graphic.
Right.
more different. Let's see, Margaret, how are you doing?
Not well,
Not well, did you say, or well?
not well.
Oh,
First of all, working with the dark background, ground is really hard because I'm really having trouble getting opacity with the yellow against it. I thought I would focus on the lemon
uh-huh.
in the front, and it's really hard to get opacity with the black coming through.
Ooh, I have a thought. I also have a completely different thought, which is just, could you tell everybody what you use to draw on this or to trace? Is it, because you're on a dark ground, how did you get the lines to stand out?
I used the white charcoal or the white chalk that came, in a box a long time ago.
Yeah, so it's white chalk. Oh, yeah, and like maybe even a white Conti crayon or white chalk, and that's why it stands out on your black.
Yes.
I think that's good to know. My thought about the difficulty building up is I wonder if it would be a good idea to sort of paint all the lemons.
Okay.
Have a kind of a layer them all up together. So just go over all the lemons.
Okay.
So that I'm going to look at the reference for a minute here. So that if you put a layer of light yellow on all the lemons, it could sort of start the process and maybe pull the whole painting together as a whole as we're struggling to build it up. And maybe even paint just sort of a first pass on the lemons and a first pass on the leaves since they're light.
Okay.
And then a pass on the tabletop. So we get an overall idea of the values, and you can bring up those lemons together over time, or even if they're not brought up, I think I would try painting all the lemons. But how does that sound to you? Because you might have something else going on in your head.
Sounds good.
It'll take the pressure off of getting that one lemon right.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Lisa, how is it going for you?
I'm having one of those days.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh.
I should apologize to everyone for coming late. I was at traffic court and got out of my ticket.
Oh, good.
Good.
But the beauty of that ticket was I was following my daughter, Lauren, who, of course, Ruth knows, who's the same age as Danny. And she didn't get stopped, and I did.
Oh, no.
It was nuts. Just too funny.
They waived it?
I'm sorry?
They waived the ticket?
Yes, if you have a good driving record. Boom. So that's a good thing to get it off, so your insurance doesn't go up.
Yeah.
But I think I haven't drawn my picture yet, and I tried to print it and it's not printing.
Mhm.
So is it possible for you to send me a copy of the picture with the hash?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be great.
That I can do.
Thank you. I dare try to draw it without that.
Okay. Let's see. And you're Lisa Browning at gmail.com?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to check because sometimes
I have two emails. Either are fine.
Oh,
but
okay.
that one's
And sometimes there's
both
a
are fine.
sneaky email that like iCloud will put an email, but it pops up, but nobody actually uses that email. Anyway, let's see. Oh, I think this is going to work.
Lisa, while Margaret's doing that for you, my mother was a wild woman behind the wheel. She drove really fast, and she was driving to Newport one time to play tennis, and she got stopped and was speeding way over the limit or whatever. She hadn't had a ticket in a number of years, so that they asked her if she had no, she was fine. So she did get a ticket, but she figured she would be all right, and she went to play tennis, and on her way back, she got stopped for speeding on the exact same place. And then said to her, how long has it been since you got your last ticket? And she looks at her watch. She's like, 9.
That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
That is so funny.
So funny.
I mean, in retrospect.
No,
Yeah.
it was funny at the time. It was really
Let's see. Izzy, are you there? She's out on the terrace. Okay. And
Thank
Kay
you,
is there.
Margaret.
I did get your painting, Kay. Your door painting, which really is of a woman like behind a door, or no?
She's all
Oh my gosh.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's standing on top of the other woman?
No, those are bottom panels, and that's just a woman, you know, in a child pose, I think.
Ooh.
That is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like particularly it's an old-fashioned door, so all of the rims around it are painted different colors. Yes.
It's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So I think you should paint on a door. Or, oh, Izzy, you're back. Okay, Izzy,
Yes.
what things look like out there?
Yeah.
That is
No,
pretty
I have a
bad.
new picture. Now it's all covered.
Oh,
Gosh.
They put the stones back and the dirt back, and they've covered it, and they were going to leave it for the winter. I said, no, I'm sorry, you can't leave it for the winter.
so this pit over here, that was out there, the whole,
Those stones were underneath my cement terrace that I've had for 45 years. That was beginning to fall in, but not so bad. If I'd known it was this future project, I would never have done it. Never have done it. Anyway,
now you have a second. Oh, and I have a second Margaret. Echoing, I thought it was just your difficult terrace situation that was causing all of your words to repeat themselves. A sort of Greek chorus.
Anyway, they've covered it all up. I have all these stones. Now I need a stone sculpture person. Do you know of anybody? Because I want a sculpture in the front of my house, and I have all the stones now.
So someone who makes sculpture out of individual stones.
Yes.
Anybody know somebody who does that?
Anybody knows somebody? I'm sure there's somebody.
Andy
may not.
Goldsworthy. Andy Goldsworthy. Just calling him up.
Get Annie Goldsworthy there. We'll come over.
Yeah, right.
Is that really true?
No, they're teasing. He's a world famous what do you call it? Eco artist. He makes installations in nature that go away.
Oh.
Anybody else want to comment on Andy Goldsworthy?
Well, he has a stone wall at Storm King that's still there.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't necessarily go away.
No.
Well, if you come across a sculptor who works in stone, I'm looking for one. Just to let you know.
Just go out there and start building cairns, piling them up.
Mm-hmm. Well, these stones are pretty round. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll find something. Do you want to see my painting?
Yes,
So-
please. I forgot. We looked at your walls, not your. Here, tell us how it's going. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Great.
Pretty good.
very nice.
It's a good beginning.
Pull
Wonderful.
it back a tiny bit. And can you tilt the top of it forward and pull the bottom of it back a little bit? Yeah, that makes it a little bit more vertical. You said a beginning, but it seems to me like there might not be a whole lot more. I'm gonna screenshot it so you can look and talk at the same time. I would like to know what you feel like. Oops, nope, that's Ruth.
Oh, it's so good. Ruth.
What would you like to change?
Well,
I don't know what you're looking at, sorry.
I don't like any of the greens. The
You were
greens are,
looking at this for a minute.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I love Ruth's. I think I have to work on the flowers a little more. I might put in, I don't know what I should do. Oh, I don't think my picture's quite right. I need more color. more roundness.
The picture, if you wanted to, like you know how much I like to give drawing advice. Bear in mind that this is a screenshot and the screenshot is wonky. So,
Yeah.
you know, the screenshot itself is wonky, but if you can look at your own painting and imagine, thank you. I like it when it fixes it. I wanted a plumb line.
Yeah.
If we imagine a straight up and down plumb line,
Uh-huh.
and in the middle, I'm looking for kind of, you know, not the left, not the right. If we kind of choose a middle, then we could
Take off some of it on the left.
yeah, exactly, because we're looking for the imaginary
Yeah.
ellipses in there, and we want them to be equal on both sides, you know, like that, and even down here, imaginary ellipse, and maybe it's not even. Oh, thank you for fixing that. I like that. It's hard to know, like we only see the front side. Oh, I know, it's right here. Let's see what I'm thinking. Oh yeah, so we really do see this ellipse. Yeah, it is. I wasn't sure how much down, and then I'm imagining it going behind, but no.
Yep.
Ah,
Actually, I painted that.
and looking at this also reminds me, oh, it's really subtle. What I was thinking is, we know it's dark under here.
Yeah.
This is casting a shadow. In the painting, it's super subtle, but if this is a little bit lighter and this is a little darker, it helps us read that plane change. A little lighter, a little darker, can read that plane change. So that could be something that you add here.
Yeah.
Could just be.
And I never put in the cap yet.
And I'm trying to find, no, I do actually want it bent, talking to the screen or the, so we want that, I think, and maybe we don't need this to be quite so small. I mean,
Yeah, I think it could be bigger. I'd like it bigger.
Yeah, so you can make, the main thing is just have it be equal on both sides from the center line. And then you could maybe lighten up the tabletop a little bit so that we see, it's very subtle in the picture and it's more like a green, but just if this is a bit more light than what's underneath it. Do we have some kind of greenish? Oh well. It's much subtler here, but it's a little lighter there than it is on the bottom, and that helps with that plane change. And then maybe you even want, like this, maybe you want this background color to be a little lighter back there.
Yeah.
That's kind of nitpicky. And then maybe you want to get darker back here behind the vase. And another vase thing would be, you could darken either side of the vase so that it turns in space. See if we squint.
So it turns, yeah.
Darker over there. So those are some vase things if you wanted to do.
I'll try that.
Okay.
That was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I want to paint this in oil.
Yes.
So I want to paint it, you know, I'll paint it over this particular painting in oil. So I'm not quite ready for oil yet, or am I? I mean,
I think you, absolutely. Why not? Dive in.
I into the oil?
Yeah.
Okay. I might do that. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. Now I have brain freeze because I think, should I transition to oil?
Oh dear.
There's a lot of Kay's working in oil and you're working in oil and Deb's working in oil. So maybe I will.
Well, I'm not going to transition yet. I'm going to make some of those little changes, then I'll transition. And then I'm going to go get a picture of this up on my
and I just want to up if you have any questions. I think I'm especially Loretta and Lisa being new to the class. Do you have any questions?
Well, I guess I'm drawing in everything now. And it's best to do your underpainting a little and then start in, just like you did, I guess. Do some
Okay.
shadows, do the
I like,
vase.
could you show us how the drawing's coming along?
It's not really quite
Okay.
anything.
That's okay. And you have a ground color? Did you
Yes,
decide?
yes,
color?
I'm starting.
Okay, so great, yeah. And that's how I like to start with the drawing. And though I feel bad that, like, I know the drawing is a time-consuming process. And and you couldn't get a print, so you couldn't do a transfer. I'm sorry about that. But did you check your email? Did you get a picture?
Yes, I have it. I love it. It's
Okay.
perfect.
So
That's what I'm working off of.
and I wonder, I know this is a lot easier said than done, but I was sort of wondering, well, could you take a bit of a broader approach? You know, you've carefully done your vase, and I think that's probably where the most work should go, so that you get it right, and it looked like your vase was right. Could you then be a little bit more general about everything else? Sort of, oh, sorry, I realize I'm not screen sharing. Not that this would be very helpful, but I was thinking about your vase you've got very carefully in. And for the flowers, could you just be a little bit more general in the beginning? This might be going against your nature, but I'm kind of thinking of Margaret here a little bit, like that she draws precisely, and to try to get her to draw unprecisely just sort of makes it go really slow. Yeah. But I'm wondering if you could be a little bit more blobby with
Okay.
the flower shapes.
And do outlines of the flowers, sure. Just a big blob.
You try a big blob, and then, I mean, at some point you'll be really frustrated because you'll have this big blob, but it might allow you to start working with some of the values. So try to make bigger shapes.
Big blobs are my best.
And so give that a try, but it could be kind of tough. See if you, now that you've got your vase, I feel like that's something where it does help to be really specific, but you've done that work.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Loretta, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm just still trying to get my colors up in the flowers and leaves and so forth.
Okay.
I have a hard time. Of course, I haven't done this very much, so I don't make enough paint. So when I mix the color, I don't have enough. And then when I I might need more. So when I mix it again, it doesn't come out the same color. So I'm still just trying to learn how to mix my colors up a little bit. That's a challenge for me.
And I'm wondering, this seems
And
like
they dry so quickly.
they do. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who's taken this class a lot who can say, like, I'm trying to get out of the work myself, who can say, what is it that I say about mixing up new blobs of color each time and why that could be a good thing?
Say it's a good thing. That's what you say. It's a good thing if you can't get the color again, because it makes it more interesting. And it's hard to imagine, but she's right.
Oh, yeah, that's music to my ears. What? Because I mean, it sounded like your first answer was just because I said so. Like, why would it be right?
Well, because it does look more interesting when it's not all the same color. If it's the same color, it's sort of boring.
Does anyone else disagree?
No.
I would say one of the first things you taught us was to make sure you mix up enough paint, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's true.
And to put a lot of paint on the canvas. I mean, to put a lot of paint on the palette.
That's what I was saying.
Unless
Well, what
it
color are
causes-
these greens?
What was that, Deb?
These greens are hard.
You are. Okay. I think I have green advice. I mean, it's my same green advice as always, so it might not sound new, and that is I want to mix my burnt sienna with my phthalo green. Is that really what I'm using? I think so, but yeah, burnt sienna with my phthalo green for a kind of warm dark green. Throw away the paper towel, new one. Oh, they're so beautiful. I want to make it a little bigger. Oh, but then we won't see all of it. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit bigger for a moment with the green. So I mix burnt sienna with phthalo green, sorry. Whoa, there's so much going on. That gives me a dark kind of warm green. But now that I'm really looking in there, I'm going to move my purple flowers out. So many different kinds of, oh, wow. Sometimes it looks cooler. Maybe I'd even take the phthalo and the blue.
Is your phthalo green blue or is it phthalo?
In my acrylic box, it's phthalo green blue shade. Excellent question. Let's see what it is over here. In the oil box, it's a little bit sloppy with where I put the paint. In the oil box, it's a Utrecht brand and it's simply phthalo green. But I know that Winsor Newton, I think you usually have to choose between green shade or blue shade. And I think I indiscriminately go either direction. I think it, oh no, it would be, you choose between green shade and red shade. Anyway, I happen to be using one that's blue shade, but the oil one I have is simply plain old phthalo green.
Phthalo green. And then underneath it, it says blue shade. And then I have phthalo blue. And underneath that, it says green shade.
Yeah, like this one. This one I have, it says phthalo blue green shade, but the phthalo green I have is straight up.
Oh, just phthalo green, huh?
Yeah,
Huh. Mine says blue shade under it.
I think I would ignore that. And yeah, I'd ignore it. Oh, but so I see a lot of different kinds of blues and greens, but my green tricks are to mix in the burnt sienna or mix in some yellow ochre, mix in blue, and do different sorts of mixtures. So here's burnt sienna and phthalo green. And here's yellow ochre and phthalo green. Oh, sorry, can't see it. So I've got burnt sienna and phthalo green, yellow ochre and phthalo green. Now, where would I put yellow ochre and phthalo green? Maybe I'd put it up here a bit. I'm gonna make the Diana Armfield picture a little smaller so we can see more of it. One bit. I was about to say something, but then it got just swallowed up by all the things. I'm going to make some ultramarine blue with the phthalo green for some. Oh, that's much, it's lighter. Not that you can see it because it's so tiny now. Not at all what I thought it would be. It's so much lighter. Ooh, burnt umber and phthalo green for just a deep dark. That gets really dark. Where else do you want to put it? Oh, I can even see so gently how this shape of this leaf looks like a nasturtium shaped leaf, but barely identified up there. Yeah. Kay, have you put in the blue patches?
I think I think I have to leave now.
Okay.
I don't know what I have here, but it's except very big color blobs.
Can we see it for a moment?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that bright enough? Let me turn on my light.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Really pretty, Kay.
It's very bright.
Is
All
it-
right. See you all next time.
All right, well, and I have two questions. One is, do you think you want to prepare that long canvas and look for some beans or bean references and kind of get it ready for potentially working on it?
Perhaps I should do that.
Um,
Go.
my second, actually I have three questions. The second question is, can we see the eggplant painting?
Oh, that one needs help. Oh, yes. I have to do more to my eggplant to make it come alive.
Beautiful.
I need to do something to this top, the thing it's sitting on, liven it up.
It's hard to see it in the light. It looks like you've got a great distinction between the texture of the leaves and the eggplant surface. I wonder, I can't really tell because of the light, but I wonder if you want just a little bit more color in the eggplant. And I'm gonna screen share because I'm wondering if, when we looked at Trish's eggplant earlier and I had I'm wondering my Trish suggestion.
It has some wonderful leaves.
Yeah, so that was,
And the table, I'm gonna do something about my table.
so these were my suggestions for Trish's table, but one thing I didn't get around to is once I suggested this, like if the warmer table, then I'm just gonna use this because I can't see yours. I wonder if it would be helpful in yours. So much easier said than done, but if you were to find, maybe not this outrageous red, but find some warmer colors within the eggplant, a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer.
Yes, my pink on mine does not show up. I need to oomph my eggplant.
Okay, and you were wanting to oomph the tabletop a little bit?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
for next time. Oh, my third question is, what are you having for lunch?
Oh, well, I wish it were more interesting. Salami, turkey, avocado sandwich.
Sounds good. How was the turkey from last week?
I get it to Peter. Oh,
And did you have some herbs with last week's turkey? I feel
only
like you
have,
mentioned some kind of, or fresh lettuce or something from the.
oh yes, I have all of that stuff.
Excellent. Thank you, Kay.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I will cancel the spotlight and we will, oh, she did leave. Sometimes it's hard to leave. Okay, and I'll come back here. This just popped into my head, not related to Still Life at all. There is I did a smartphone for beginners, a photography related smartphone for beginners workshop last Friday. It went really well. It's the third one. And there's another one on the schedule now for Friday, October 30th. So it's an hour and a half and you're invited if you're interested. And Rebecca just put that on, I think.
I'm going to sign up for that, I think.
Okay, it seems like I'm really happy with how much participants are enjoying it.
I'd like to do it too.
Okay. Oh, and then
30th?
it's Friday, October 30th, but it is at 10:30 in the morning. 10:30 to 12. So it's not at 9, which might be confusing. And Rebecca, I think she said she just put it up. I'm not really sure where that means it is.
I think it's going to come out in the email, the newsletter email that she sends out usually on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursday.
They've been so good, those emails.
Good.
Okay, I'm back mixing greens, and I want a dark green, but it's kind of warm. I'll try back in my sienna and my green and a little, I just said dark and then I added white. I feel like, Loretta, that mixing of colors or having to mix them up differently each time, a painting like this, I think is a good one for that, because there's so many, I feel like, oh, I can't go wrong. I'll paint this green and the leaf, like every green under the sun is in this painting. So even if it's not right for that bit of green, what's right for one of the bits of green, I'll just keep adding to it a little different each time. I will make the Diana Armfeld a little bit so we can see it properly. Sorry.
I'm back.
Hi, Izzy.
Hi there. Sorry.
No more. So the pit in your driveway is gone?
Oh, no, it's not anywhere near. Yeah, it's gone, but it's a terrace. It's not the driveway.
Okay. I'm glad there's not a really big hole in there.
Not anymore. But, you know, after a big rain, maybe I'll get it. Who knows? I don't know.
No.
I'm
That
pushing.
will not happen.
I'm making them do it now. I can't live like that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No.
Having to look at a pit every day would be very discouraging.
Card 2. Okay, where is everybody? Have you gone to
I think
oil?
it's all on my screen with the nasturtiums.
Okay.
Do you see
Good.
it? Or
Yep,
at least my
you.
screen?
And I printed it out so I can finish. I can do it,
Okay.
you know, go to oil and still do it.
Does it look better on the screen than on your printout, or are they both helpful?
Oh, they're both helpful.
My background when I printed it out came out orange, and yours is much more
Yellowy, almost like yellow ochre.
yeah, yellow ochre.
Same thing happened with me. My printout is definitely, I don't know if you can tell, but
Yeah.
and this camera shows things as paler and yellower. So definitely it printed out orange. It's too much for our little printers, and even the paper. I know if I had a good quality paper or even a glossy paper, often my printer will make a better print on the glossy paper.
I did it on glossy paper,
Oh,
and it still came out very orange.
Huh. I'm trying to mix up a color for the tabletop here, and mine is coming out much more light greeny. I'm mixing a lot of different colors. I just thought I'd mention that, but I tried some. Oh, I'm gonna try burnt umber. And then, maybe if I do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. I wanted to keep things above the little numbers here on my screen because I can't. No, well, whatever. I wish it would go away, but. So another problem, Deb, when you asked if I was working flat, I think a problem that's pretty easily solved is that it would really help me. It's funny that I haven't done it, or I need to pick it up and I need to look at it from a distance. I would think that looking on the screen would help too. So maybe I'll try this. I will, if I can.
Got blue somehow. My pink color.
Try take a screenshot. Oh, and then send it to my phone. Oh. And then I also have the art palette setup handy if anybody would like me to resend this. I can.
Yes, please. Please,
Okay.
please send that.
All right. And just so what the problem I'm having working flat is that I'm not getting a good distant look. I can't walk across the room from this thing. So that's why I'm doing this. I want to walk across the room, so to speak. Well, actually, literally, I can walk across the room. Probably be better for me to look at it in person, but let me get rid of that. Oops. Okay. Here. Oh, and I guess we could, but I'm just gonna put it where I can see it. Maybe. Where is that? Start there. Oh, darkness. Oh, there. Okay. I'm gonna walk across the room and look at my painting. There are a lot of things I would like to do to it. No one particular thing. Maybe I'll work on the little film canister, and maybe I'll work on the vase so that it's played down a bit. But it definitely helped me to step back and look. And that is easier to do if you're working standing up at an easel.
Mhm.
And so I would encourage you to do that if you can bear. As you know, as those of you who haven't been in class with me before, you have an experience that sometimes I like to come and just take a person's painting and put it on the wall, on the bulletin board. So you have to have a distant look at it. Let's see. Now, we have 35 or 4 minutes. Does anybody want some advice for the next bit of class?
I do.
All right.
Let me come back to you. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. All right.
Oh, gosh, Ruth.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Ruth, that's
Nice.
You're so good at that, Ruth.
beautiful.
Yeah. I don't think the orange looks as orangey as I would like. And well, it's a clementine. And the one sitting sideways is weird looking even in his image.
I thought his looked strange. I wondered, that's where I might put a little attention, is how do we make that one look more expected, more like what we think of as a clementine?
I'll show you his picture. It's very long for.
That's what I thought when you showed us. I was like, what is that? A different kind of fruit? Is it a?
And I painted this in, but I don't really know what that dark thing is, and I don't really know what this dark thing is.
And it says peeled clementine. I wondered if it was just some other kind of fruit. Like the skin makes me think of a persimmon.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Because
And
it's smooth.
Yeah, the smooth. It looks so smooth, and then there's that leaf color.
I think that's a leaf.
that was my guess. Like, what is that dark thing? I don't know what it is.
Weird, and I've blown it up on my screen as much as I can, and it's still weird looking.
I wonder, so I like your decision to not paint in the thing that you can't make sense of.
No, I didn't.
Do you think, I'm wondering if he has a,
And make it more Clementine-ish?
yeah, and I wonder if we could get some kind of reference for that. Like, he's painted a lot of clementines. Is there another clementine? It makes me want to, but it looks, so I really like your painting. I'm going to do a little screenshot. I think I would try to find another reference for a clementine maybe, or just use your own ideas about what makes a clementine look, so we could change that. This looks very convincing to me. One thing I'm not looking at the reference, obviously I am not looking at the reference, but a thought I have not looking at the reference is that maybe this could go out a little bit more, maybe
Around.
not that bright, but just so we see it wraps around.
Okay.
Just that it's wrapping around a little bit more, that these guys, the fruit sits inside the peel. That's a personal thought I have. But what if we oh, look, a few clementines.
I know.
It's a really low vantage point as usual, but like maybe even, do you think would that one help? It's very shady over there. You don't want the above view. Or one of those. Would any of those help to give you a reference for that clementine on the left?
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'll look them up on my own so I can have it on my screen.
Okay, great. It's very exciting to look at all these different, ooh, where did you go? All these different clementines. Oh, Julian. Good Lord, that's a lot of clementines.
Yeah, it's kind of boring how he does stuff over and over and over again.
Wow. That one's kind of an odd looking one. Or not odd, but it's more of that slightly pear-shaped. God. Okay. Those are beautiful. And so many options, but I think the reference you have of his right now, not very helpful. It's strange, and I don't, those, whatever the dark shapes are, don't look, oh, I see, but the light is definitely coming from the left. So
Yeah.
if, not sure if it, oh, I guess this one, the light's coming from the left too. So that's helpful. Would you like me to pop this in an email and just send it?
Goodness.
Sure.
Wow.
Thank
And
you.
then, sure, and maybe, let's see. Oh, good.
Beautiful.
Recents. So like, yay. I'll send it to everybody just in case. Oops.
Mm.
There we go. And and I sent it to myself too. Yeah, that was helpful to see that the light is coming from the left. Because some of what I was going to say is, if it wasn't in the one you were looking at, that seems to be the only one I downloaded, you could, or maybe you could, but I can flip it. If I go to view and tools, I can flip horizontal. So if you wanted it to see what it looked like with the light coming from the other direction, I use this flip horizontal tool, and to see what it looks like from the other direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cancel the spotlight. Does anybody have any questions so you can make the most of this last few minutes? Not really few minutes, but speak up if you do. I will see.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good. Okay.
My vase is really wonky.
I love
I
that.
haven't finished- I haven't finished it, but it's really wonky.
I think maybe it's just a little bit wide on the left, which is the same as Izzy's, which I think is the same as I think the reference is just, it could be an optical illusion, but I think hers is a little wide on the left. So I'm going to, Deb's is about to appear. It's there, but it's gonna, come on, I'm waiting. I know it looks like I'm waiting for nothing, but I really am. There it is. So, and then hers, is this you, Diana? Yeah. So I think, let's see, if we put a line down, you sort of guess at the middle of her vase, maybe because it's lighter on the left than the right, it looks a little bigger down here. And then also this bit of decoration comes out, it sort of makes it feel bigger on the left. So, and I know that this is a wonky screenshot because they all are, none of them are straight on. If we find kind of the middle of the things, maybe you just, when you make your decoration, you want to make it come around a little bit more. Let's see. We want these to be more symmetrical. It's very hard. So even this, like, you know how we're usually looking for the change between the bottom and the side? Like, where does that little bit happen on each side? And then I always say, like, it should be directly across from itself. Hers don't, maybe because of the light too, they don't, it doesn't look symmetrical. And this little bit, it looks a little bit slanted like that. And we want to, I think we want to make it feel more straight across from where this plane changes. So I think it's hard to tell where it's changing from side to front on each side. That wasn't so helpful, was it? Like a little smiley face there.
That's like the tea bag string.
Something like that. It maybe, so you're not getting a whole lot of help from her painting, but if you could make this
I
a
know.
little
And
more symmetrical.
it's my usual trick of putting the painting too far down, and it should all go up a little bit.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, you could shrink the vase a little bit. Now I'm just futzing. But you've got some space down there, and you've got this line, this going like that, and then but the vase hanging over the line. So maybe you just want to identify this a little bit more clearly, probably with the dark around it. You could leave your vase, but just a little bit of a dark. Yeah. Nicely done with this cap here. I like that. And then the same thing with your decoration. Oops, sorry, I've got my drunken thingies. But same thing here with just get them a little bit more, or that one, a little more symmetrical instead of being a little lower on the left than the right.
Okay.
But that's, I think, kind of nitpicky because when we look at it overall, I feel like you've got this charming painting that pretty much is, it's all of a piece, which is nice. So you're gonna work on your vase a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm at the difficult stage of, well, what would I do? Oh, I guess I could paint that little.
You can take me off spotlight.
Oh, okay. I actually can't see anybody right now. Izzy has an interesting still life as her camera. That's kind of a nice still life right there. Books.
Oh,
Top of the bar.
Why is that, I wonder?
I don't know. I thought you were elsewhere.
I was elsewhere, but wait a minute. There. Now there I am.
It's a nice little still life. I guess the hard thing for me is just there's so many possibilities. And now that I've got the overall gist down, maybe I'll go, I just have to pick at random a little bit. So you guys were talking about the vase. Oh, I will try to, ooh, is this a brand new brush? It's terrifying to use it in the acrylic. It's so brutal on the brushes. See, got a little bit of this bluish. I love how she paints the decoration.
What happens there? Good.
So the blue I've chosen for the shadowy bits caused by the decoration is kind of too blue.
I did it again. I leaned back in my chair and I drew on something.
Oh, like you painted on yourself, or you keep trying to alter that Julian Marrow Smith copy?
I do.
I'm sorry, so you got it again?
Yeah, I did it again. I can't find it. Oh well. I think maybe I'll remove it. Oh, maybe was that what I just did?
Oopsie. Now I'm getting kind of just, oh, it's so small that you can't tell. I was kind of just messing around and I got lazy and blobby with the blue paint. Doesn't really matter though, because it's kind of a blobby painting.
It is.
Is that the clock? A clock? A little early. I'm gonna do just a little bit. Oh, because it could be fun. The cap, I keep saying I'm gonna do the cap and then I don't do the cap. If we do a little of the front of the cap and a little of the back of the cap. And oopsie. And Margaret, I'm thinking about your lemons. I'm very curious to see how trying to paint all the lemons at once, if you decided to try it and
I'll show you if you want.
haven't abandoned it altogether,
No,
which we would
it's not
all
gonna look
empathize with. There's, oh,
Bert just
that
came
was a
back.
good
on
idea.
Cool.
Oh, you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
very
So
nice.
Bert, thank you. Bert just came back from riding his bicycle. Bert, I killed a bug over there. Could you pick it up, please?
You scared of bugs?
No, I killed it. I just don't want to pick it up.
No.
It's like a grasshopper thing that came in. I don't want you to think we have like bugs, but I just killed one.
Okay, and they seem to like these spaces, the basement spaces. I explained to them that it's my space. Will you hold it up a little higher, Margaret?
The bug?
No. Although that would be very Dutch of you. We've got some bugs in there. And now pull it back a little bit. Okay, and hold it steady. It's gonna look so lousy in the screenshot. It looks great on the screen, and it looks really nice. I think I'm glad you took the pressure off of the one lemon, so it didn't have to hold the whole thing. And one thought I have now that they're sort of built in, their edges are so soft. I was wondering if with the one lemon, maybe you want to go back or try to get it a little darker even.
Yeah.
So that the whiteness doesn't look flat, but just darker on the underside there. But I think does anybody have do you want to cheer Margaret or add any thoughts?
It's really rough.
I think
That's
it's
a
really
wonderful beginning.
awesome.
It's a beginning.
Yeah.
I guess I know what you mean by rough, but I feel like the only, like right now, if this were softer, the white that you so painstakingly tried to get, but
Yes.
that it holds together very well. So I think that even though it's rough, like it really holds together well, and it makes me want to look up Chardin's lemons and show you how close you are. Chardin
Okay.
lemon. Because sometimes they look really rough, or maybe not. Good Lord, no, not that.
Those are what gorgeous pictures.
They are, but none of them are what I guess I was thinking of, this looks like a very warm version of this, but it's not what I was thinking of. But I think yours looks good how it is, and maybe even something of this, like there's,
You just passed like a lime. Did I see a lemon and lime somewhere?
I think you probably
There it
did.
is. Yeah.
Like this.
Nice. Yeah.
That's a whole different,
It's a whole different thing.
but nice.
Yeah.
Heifer.
Heifer.
Keep that. Oh, those are great. They're so you and Uglo. You know that other guy who
Those are nice. I love the way he's done the reflection.
that's a different vibe, but also a Margaret-y vibe, like your own. It seems like it's funny how it's on the other end of the spectrum, but also the graphic. Ooh, these are
Those
nice.
are nice shallots. Yeah.
Wow.
It's got that attention to the whole composition. Oh, cool. All right, I'll send that in my little, I'm gonna send a few things like the palette setup, a link to Dan Bunn, a link to this guy.
Good.
Steven.
That's really, I like his reflections a lot.
Me too.
Look at that.
Some people put the still lives right on a mirror, I think, and Ida does that sometimes in class. Not that you always need a mirror, sometimes just shiny surface, but oh, that's exciting. Okay, well, I'll send a link to that. But I guess the point I was wanting to make is that this holds together for me, even though it's unfinished. I feel like it holds together, and it says lemons in a basket with the leaves and the cloth and the knife, and bravo.
Thank you. I'll keep going at it.
Okay. I'm wondering, let's see, I don't want to leave anybody out, but like, Lisa, how is it going for you? Where are you
I'm
stuck
putting in
or
the
not stuck?
big pieces. I felt like I had to do the background a little. And now
Yeah,
I'm putting in the big pieces, and I'm gonna do the vase next, and the glass and the top, and then work on the flowers. Is that okay?
sounds like a plan.
All right.
What about you, Loretta? How is it feeling for you? How's it going?
Pretty good.
Ooh,
Wow.
nice.
Well, you're farther along.
I gotta, trying to work on the bottom a little bit. Get some good greens.
Yeah, that's tricky. It seems like you're
It
doing
is.
a good job.
Yeah, this is a little off. It's off, but let's chat.
Yeah, it seems like it's close, and like we just want an approximation of the relationship, that it's on the green side of things.
Yeah.
And I am wondering if I'm going to screen share for a moment. Now everybody's faces are down here. I was thinking about, nope, not that, and not that. Although actually, maybe this will be
Like that
helpful.
one.
My image of it instead of the real thing for a moment. Maybe I'm trying to move our faces because maybe I was thinking of, it's good for me to see this too. How about bright blue? Of this edge, I don't want it to be too harsh, but I do want to know where the plane changes from the bottom to the side. So,
Oh, yeah.
and so
Sorry,
that's
I got my paintbrush on my painting.
sorry, I laugh so freely, but somehow, because these struggles are the pathos. So I was thinking when I looked at yours, like, and now even at mine, like, do we want this to be a little darker just so we see, not shaggy like that, but the plane change, a kind of clear that this vase is sitting on a very narrow ledge. I want to show that and not have it just be kind of confusing down there. So I think that might be something, it's so subtle, but still when we look at hers, we know it's on a ledge, nice and clear.
I didn't even see it that way.
Oh,
So
okay.
now that you pointed out, it's totally different. Yeah. I was seeing it on a flat table, but not with the edge on the, I was seeing the whole bottom as a table.
Well, there's so many subtle color shifts and little marks and whatnot, it's hard to tell. Do you have
And
any?
now that you point out that it's a narrow ledge, it's like, how did I see it the other way?
Funny that way.
Total different. Okay.
But it seems like you've got a good overview of the parts of the painting.
Good.
The colors
Okay.
and the value. How do you like it? And is there anything you're yearning to change?
At the moment, I like it. It's the next step that gets challenging.
Just want to hold it up again and and we'll see like what is the
I
next.
wasn't really liking the bottom part of it, but I wasn't seeing it properly either.
I have a thought about possibly about two next steps. One would be to darken the far sides of the vase. So,
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
that would be one. And the other would be to try to emphasize the light parts of the nasturtiums for a little
Okay.
bit more of a value range. And there's not a lot of opportunity to do that, but there's a few. I think that I might do that. Does
Okay.
anybody look at her painting and say, oh, here's what I'd do next? Just since you guys all have so much experience.
I'd rough it up. That's me.
Did you like get rid of some of the hard edges?
Yeah, I think I would. I think I'd soften it. Maybe that's a better word for it.
When I think Ruth's just got up to just to see. Will you hold it up again, Loretta?
I wasn't commenting.
It's nice. It's very nice. It's a great beginning.
Yeah,
Thank
it's really pretty. I would just keep
I
going.
think it's really pretty, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Now we'll leave you be. I just wanted to make sure in the last minute, did everybody.
I did. Do you want to see my oil fast?
Yes, yes, I do. Oil, that's what.
Oh,
Easy
Lovely.
a little bit. There,
nice.
nice.
Very nice.
I like oil better, but the flowers need to be defined.
The flowers are tricky because reds tend to be in one kind of value range, and it's very hard to get a nice value range with the reds. But well done with the oil and getting all those, all the color subtlety. It seems very satisfying, all the colors. And I'm glad you got to do both.
Me too.
It looks like you're really comfortable with the oils.
For a minute, then I can go back to it and something will happen.
Yeah, I think that with the flowers, I might, usually my answer is to push the darks a little bit and push the lights a little bit. So
Yeah.
wherever it is dark, maybe you could make it a little darker. And
Okay.
where it's light, the big opportunities, and this is that I see for light, are there.
Yeah.
They're sort of around in here, these petal shapes.
Yeah.
So I want to seize on those opportunities, and even on this little bit of yellow, it's where opportunities for lighter bits of sort of orangey red. And even, so sort of pushing the darks and seizing on some opportunities for the lighter orangey red, but you can't do too much of it or then it just looks all the same.
No, that's
That's
true.
what I feel like mine is missing to just a wider range of light to dark. Little hidden purples in there too.
Hmm. Well, I'll try.
I'm being kind of lazy by not, I just used blue, but now I use some blue and brown. I did want to clean up, even though it's not a very, you know, it's not a clean paint, but this bit under here, I wanted to show that it's on the edge of the ledge, and I need it lighter. It's too light. I guess I've sacrificed the subtlety of where that cast shadow is to get a clearer idea of where the edge of the ledge is. So maybe I could go back for the subtlety of the cast shadow on the ledge. I don't know if that's, oh, maybe you can't see. Over there. That works. Oh, it's so strange the way it's not straight across. Yeah. It's disorienting. So I think for now I'm gonna leave mine here like that. And I wanted to show you, I wanted to talk a little bit about next week. I'm gonna look in my schedule. So I have this email ready to send to you. It includes, actually I will make them, I'm gonna leave that one that size, but this one I'm gonna see, oh, I can't make it bigger. If you need a bigger file, so I shot this when I wanted to have things ready before we started class. So this is what I shot thinking about it. It looks a little garish to me now, but I was thinking about demonstrating this, but I will probably tweak the colors so they're not quite so electric.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, good. Okay. So that's a possible subject if it interests you. And that I think is going to be sent out at 1 p.m. And I don't think, but I'm also going to, maybe I'll put it, I'm going to cancel the send and I'll put all of the things in this email I will add. Go to recents. Are you recents? No, you are still iFall. I'm going to add the palette. Still palette set up. I'll put that in there. And I already sent the Julian Marrow Smith thing. I'm gonna add a link to Dan Bunn's studio. So there will be links in here. I'll try to make it gigantic or bigger than this so you can see it at least. And then to this new fellow we discovered, Stephen Hefferart. Yes. So cool. That big too. So we've got those two links and a PDF with art palette set up and these two images. And so I guess I would like you to think about, I'm also wondering, is there anything else I should send? That's probably enough. I would like you to think about what you want to work on. Oh, Ruth is ready to go. All right, Ruth, share. Oh,
Wow.
much better.
Good.
I like that you took my suggestion about sitting the clementine slices inside their case more.
Yep.
And your clementine on the left looks more like a clementine. One thing that looks a little bit distracting to me is the cast shadow on the right. Yeah, right there. I feel like in the front of it, I would like, let's see, can I do it, share screen? This shadow, I wonder if you could,
What's the matter?
where is it going? No.
Bring this.
Too narrow?
I was thinking that it felt a little low, like coming out like this,
Go out.
like that maybe instead it could go back.
Horizontal, okay.
Possibly, I mean, and I don't doubt that his was like that. Also, I felt like maybe it was a little hard on the edges.
Yep, okay.
Looking at your painting, you soften up the edge of the cast shadow. I think I might do that. Do you have any other, do you want other people to make any suggestions? Or do you have thoughts about what you want to do?
I don't. I'd like to keep working on the white pithy stuff, but I don't know how to make that look better.
So I think my solution is just, well, if you step back a couple feet, it looks perfect.
I love it.
Is
Yes.
that
Question again on shadows. With Ruth, if you brought the shadow back like Margaret suggested, which I think I could see where that reads better. I wonder if you would want to increase the shadow between the two pieces of fruit so that exactly where Margaret has the pointer now, to sort of make that more shadowed.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I can do
It
that.
seems like he's got the light in kind of a funny place.
Yeah,
But
not make it big, but just a little.
little bit more right there, and then it would make more sense of that. Yeah.
Yeah, straight across as opposed to more horizontal.
I like the way you have sort of gentle patch or subtle patches of light here and here. I like those a lot, and I almost wonder if you would want to add maybe another one sort of there or here, so that there's a little bit more variation to this tabletop.
Okay.
But I don't know. Great job with that.
Yeah. The highlight on that looks really good.
It does.
Yeah, I love
And
the
again, so I don't have advice about the pith because I think you did a great job with the pith. And I think I'd have to just study other people's piths for if you're wanting more specificity. I don't really have advice there.
Okay.
Could make a pun and say it's a pithy subject.
Jeez. All right, it's 12. And so I will send this email. I'll send a shot of what I worked on too. And we'll see you next. Oh, so, but to add, so if you liked the nasturtium photograph, great. If not, think about if you want to touch up another painting or setting yourself up a still life. Margaret, I'm thinking hopefully you'll go back to your tart.
I think, yeah.
But think about what you might like to paint if you don't dig that nasturtium photo with the outrageous colors. And I'll see you next week.
Have a good week, Margaret.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See some of
Bye.
I'll see you
Bye.
on Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.